Jonathan, you're running the meeting. We had an illness.
Well, it is
Oh.
6 o'clock, it just flipped.
Amber's ill, so she's not going to be able to join us. I had a challenge connecting with Mr. Bowler, so I'm not sure where we're disconnected with the info that he provided. We just haven't been able to work out.
Okay, so the first thing we reviewed the minutes from last time. Does anyone have a copy of those?
It's the YouTube,
Oh, it's on the video, okay.
so if nobody had a problem with
Does
it.
anyone have any
we can just,
issues or comments about the minutes? Okay, I think I'll turn the time over to Jenny. I know.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk a little bit about summer reading. Since we wrapped up and it was such a fun year. Okay. So, I'm just throwing some things in this PowerPoint, but this is, those are sort of stats we're going to see. So summer reading it was a really fun year. It was called Oceans of Possibilities. I don't know if any of you participated either as a family, as an individual. You can see we had almost 2,800 people register for the program, 1,050 completely finished the program. But we had a lot of good attendance along the way. We had a really good representation in all the areas with adults at 776, teens at 391, ages 6 to 11 at 895, and 0 to 5 at 646. We love seeing 0 to 5 because we've been working on initiatives to help people read with their littles, including 1,000 books before kindergarten and some other things like that. So that's exciting and fun for us to see that. They read a combined total of nearly 1.7 million minutes, which is amazing, and they did over 41,000 reading sessions to get to those number of minutes. We gave out 15,000, almost 16,000 tickets, which they could redeem for a prize and put towards their total prizes. The breakdown of the tickets is right there. We had 864 participants in the pool party finale. If we do the pool party finale again, we'll probably do it in 2 nights because it was, I think it was pretty busy. So, but that was exciting. We sometimes we shake up the finales and do different things, but this one was particularly well attended and fun, and it was a really hot summer, so it was good. That is a little clip of the escape room. So these are some of the summer reading activities. We kicked it off with an aquatic fossil show from the Hutchins Museum. We have had really great success with anytime activities, and that's called passive programming in the library. So you come in and choose when you want to participate, and they have them available for children, tweens, and teens. I was a tester for one of them. I called it Mathlantis, but it was the Search for Atlantis one for teens, and I think they dialed it down a little notch after several of us were like, we cannot do that. But
The kids probably were like, this is easy.
I know. Could we go find a tween to help me with this math? And then take-home activities where people could pick up little kits and other activities to take home, and they did some of those for adults as well. And then some of the special events, they had pirate ship steal a flag for our Teen After Hours event. We had Pirates Legend Tween Scene event, Jason Fun Magic Show, the Bermuda Triangle Escape Room, very, very popular. They ran it for a number of days, and it was just packed, and they let people walk in once they reached all the sign-ups. The fastest time was about 20 minutes, which was an impressive time for sure. And then the pool party finale. And the outreach team did a cost breakdown of everything that they spent. And they spent just over $2,200 for total attendees to all the activities, $8,785. So it was a really good bang for the buck. They did a great job in making sure that they were utilizing the resources really well and still having a really fun activity. So I don't know if any of you participated this year. This was the first year we used a program called Beanstack for registration. And we had done various like programs that we'd had people help us write before, but a lot of libraries use Beanstack. We tested it out. Our team really liked it. So we hope that it was a quick and easy thing for people to register, to record their badges and different things like that. So did you guys do it?
No.
Well, that's okay. I just was, hopefully if you hear anybody talk about it, maybe you can ask them about their experience, how it was. We hope it was good. We felt like it was a subscription that we had to buy, so we did spend the funding to do that, but we do feel like it was something that was going to improve overall user experience. So we wanted to make that improvement for sure.
Yeah, we used it. It was actually really intuitive, and actually, like, I came and helped pass out the prizes, and it was
Yeah, thank
really
you.
fast and easy to look up people and mark people off. I think it was pretty.
Good, good. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for the feedback, because that is definitely one of those things where we want to make smart investments in how to make the experience easier for people, and we know that everybody's so excited to sign up. It's kind of like the gym in January. Everybody's like, we're going to the library all summer long, and then it tapers off a little bit, but they did try and have lots of engagement through the whole month and a half to do it. Some libraries end a little before us, some end a little after us, but generally everyone takes August off because everybody realizes that, oh no, summer is ending, we need to do something with these kids, or we gotta go school shopping or other things. So for events, they try and wrap it up and then do other offerings in August that are just a little bit more easy, so they have some time to plan. So in terms of planning items, they have we have Orem Reads coming up. That's an annual event. This year it is focusing on the romance genre. We are partnering with the Utah Humanities Book Festival, and they are sponsoring kind of a rom-con in the auditorium for the day of September 24th. It kicks off at 10 a.m. and there are different speakers and topics and panels all throughout the day. And then the keynote speaker will be Josie Kilpack, and she's taking the stage at 5 o'clock that evening. There's also at 3 o'clock like a fun couples kind of game show quiz little activity to kind of break up the panel lectures and things like that. So that is kind of the kickoff for Orem Reads. And then the 26th of September, we're going to screen Princess Bride in the hall, because that is a perennial favorite. Everybody loves it. September 27th, Happy Valley Comedy is coming out to do a little comedy show on that's for all ages. September 29th, Grassroots Shakespeare is doing Romeo and Juliet, since it is romance genre. And then on October 4th, Sarah Eden is coming to do a keynote, just her individually. She's very, very popular, so that will be fun. And then the finale of Orem Reads will be on October 18th, and Christina Lauren is coming. And Christina Lauren is the writing duo of Christina Hobbs and Lauren Billings, and together they have had 18 best-selling novels in both young adult and adult fiction. So that's going to be an exciting lineup for Orem Reads. It spans pretty much 1 month worth of time, but we're excited to have that back and expect a good turnout with a popular topic like that. So watch for that in newsletters, or we'll have take-home sheets throughout the library for sure. Other projects that we have going right now, as you came in or as you come to the library, you may have seen the courtyard has been the lowest courtyard has been a little bit torn up. We have been working with parks to redesign the courtyard a little bit. We've had challenges with it being mowed safely in the past. So we have widened the gate so they can bring in one of the four-wheel drive riding mowers, because they mow that grade throughout the city in other areas. It's just the hand push mowers with people that tends to want to flip on that hillside for them, so they're trying to make it safer. So we've widened the gate so they can move equipment in there. They can take the Kubota in there now. We've trimmed all the bushes. Right now they're in there doing concrete mow curbs. They're going to reseed the grass. That grass is showing its 27-year-old age down there. And trim some trees and other things like that. So we've appreciated Parks working with us to get that project done. The fence and gate probably took the longest time because working with the vendor outside on that, but we think it'll be even safer and more useful for many years to come after that. Parks has also planted the courtyard outside of Library Hall. That was a little bit delayed because of a drip line, and then Parks has just been slammed this year. We haven't had nearly enough people. They've had so many things going on and just crazy things happening. So we appreciate working with them on that. We are in the process, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we are in the process of changing the library's ILS, Integrated Library System. So we went out to bid, and instead of just renewing with a vendor, which we've been very happy with our vendor, Circe Dynex, but we had the opportunity to choose an open source product with a vendor. So the open source is just that, it's an open model where it's not really owned software, it's available for others to use. And then we did work with a company to help us convert to the Koha system and build the discovery layer, which is pretty much the catalog facing the patron. So we're in the process of that. It's involving a lot of data extraction and other things like that. Our tech services division manager, Anthony, has been doing a wonderful job of handling that. We will see a cost savings over time by doing this. There was some upfront cost, but dramatically lower costs for ongoing year after year. So we're excited about that. That will be completely migrated by the end of the year, but we're not in the they're not in the sandbox area where we test it for public yet, but they're giving us a few looks at what the discovery layer or the catalog will look like, and we will have some customization options for that. We're looking at things like the book covers. They have a source that they provide. We can also purchase a source. Right now we're purchasing we're doing novelist, I can't even remember. There's a book cover source so that people can see the book covers that come up in the catalog, different things like that. So we're looking at all those different options, but so far IT's been very pleased with it, and Anthony's been very pleased with the migration.
So are you still using Horizon?
Uh-huh.
Okay, is anyone else still using Horizon?
Probably use a Symphony, but I don't know who else uses
I don't like
Horizon.
Symphony, I like Horizon. I still love Horizon. I can't believe you're still using it. So was Anthony still at UVU when they migrated to Koha?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's definitely experienced it
Yeah.
and been happy on the other side. And then, we were just finishing our 7-year contract with Circe Dynex because we bid it for 7 years before, and we were going to need to rebid it, and the pricing it's getting expensive.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen as much improvement in some areas that we were really looking forward to, specifically things like the acquisitions modules. Those I think have not been as a high priority for Circe Dynex as other areas, and that's understandable. They are, meeting customer need. But we feel like there is potential for a lot better integration with our systems with some of the Koha improvements for acquisitions and some of the other specific modules. Not all libraries use those modules depending on your size, but that specifically is one they're really excited about. And, we've met with a lot of other libraries using Koha in Utah, and they feel happy with their change. So,
Like each department does.
yeah, I met with the library directors who were doing Koha last year at the Library Directors Summit, and they all had good things to say. A lot of them are smaller than we are, but it doesn't change really the process. It's just a matter of how they have integrated the features. Not everyone has purchased the discovery layer, but with our users, we wanted to make that available and have a lot of options for customizing it and making it look and feel kind of like a search engine you want to participate in.
Right, so you're calling it a discovery layer. Is it basically just like the OPAC?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just has more It just has more versatility
Okay.
in.
I just didn't know if it was like, no, there's the old pack and this is like an upgrade kind of thing.
Well, there's the basic package and then there's
Okay, alright.
the upgrade.
Okay.
So we have purchased the upgrade when it comes to patron searching,
Okay.
but it was still pretty reasonable
Right.
price.
From the user end, will we notice anything different, besides maybe just appearance change or?
Look and feel will be a little bit different, but they still are playing around with the colors and the
Yeah.
buttons and the different types of faceted searching that you can select.
Right.
It has a lot of customization potential, so it shouldn't be radically different. The legacy catalog, which is the old Horizon, list, just, it would return just a massive list. And some people really like that. Other people, it was just, like a flood of information on them. That won't happen anymore. We have lost our connection to Provo's catalog. There used to be a feature on our catalog where you could just push the button and check Provo's catalog, but that has stopped working, so they've turned it off for now. So we can still help people, if they want to check Provo's catalog with our help, or they can check it directly. But so I think Provo's still on Searcy Dynamics.
Well, and do you have any idea when their contract is up?
I don't. They were Symphony people, which was just a product within Searcy Dynamics' offerings, and we were on Horizon, which was, we just never upgraded to Symphony a long time ago, and it didn't seem worth it in the end to do that. So that is, it's a big project for Anthony, and there will be quite a bit of training for mostly the tech services staff in October, but he's happy with the way it's going so far, and they're making sure that everything extracts and goes to its new place just right on schedule. So that's happening for sure, and we can follow up with more information about that. And then we do have a report to the City Council in September. It is the end of September, but maybe Councilman Millett can give us some idea of what they would like. We presented in the past, just some of our updates. These are some service statistics from the fiscal year. It's a little wonky because we report on a fiscal year, so it seems odd to report from July to June, but we can also report on the calendar year because we run them concurrently. But for the total state report that Sharon is immersed in the fall, it reports on the fiscal year. So, and we haven't got the E items included in that yet. Those are just physical items from the library. So the E stuff, we have to do some reporting from our E information and some reporting from the access from the state's overall offerings. But so there's stats and there's reports. We can show lots of different projects and initiatives we've been doing. But is there anything specific that you would like the LAC to be to share? We can certainly
I just think what you have there just highlight the great things that are happening in our library. I mean, I've been very impressed with these, the presentation today and before the prior meetings. I think our residents need to know how great things are.
That is old because I'm using an old file. So, but yeah, we can certainly update that, and we can work with Amber and see. But we will make sure everyone gets invited to that meeting if you'd like to come and be a part of that. I pulled some stats and some photos on some of our programs. They've done some fun things with some community outreach. They did an outreach over at Windsor Elementary. They've done some outreach with bringing in some musicians. We try and go after some grants, usually from the state of Utah, for the opportunity to bring in artists from outside of the state. It's called Tour West. There's also an onstage grant, and that's how we've had the opportunity to bring in some more acclaimed musical groups and other groups. And one of the most fun things to do when they bring those groups in is to have them interact with students. Orem Junior High and other areas have been interacting with that group recently, which has been fun. We've had we had a few groups that weren't able to come because of COVID, and then everybody was able to come once things got open again. So we've had 3 or 4 really good groups come in a fairly recent time frame, which has been really nice since we've had the hall to host them in. And hall usage is really good. We've had in the last year, fiscal year, we had 444 total uses of the hall. The library used it 223 times. The city in general used it 209 times, and we had 12 rentals. And some of those can be multi-night or multi-day uses. But 444, we felt like it was a good start for the hall, so we're really happy about that. And we have some new improvements that we are doing with the hall. We were able to get some CARE funding for a little bit of audio upgrade, and then new risers. Our risers, we've been using old risers that were donated to us, and they don't have a safety rail along the back, and we found that to be problematic in our first year of hosting people on the stage. So the city council's helping us upgrade those risers, which is a really important thing for us. And then I've had so much heartburn watching people, because our stage is a stage, the codes are different. Or because the front part of the auditorium is a stage. So there's this little sets of stairs on each side of the stage that doesn't have a handrail, because you don't have to put a handrail in because it blocks the view. And I just am so afraid somebody's gonna fall down that we've ordered some handrails. I just watch every event. Please don't fall. Because that's going to be a horrible thud when somebody falls during a program. That's not what we want to have happen at all. So we don't think it'll impede the sightlines too much, and we haven't necessarily had, just every single seat packed. So if there's a little bit right in the front corners, then we could relocate people to other seats. But we just don't want anyone's safety to be compromised. And the stage is designed so you can walk or roll right onto it, but people, they're down in the front or something like that. They just don't intuitively walk up to the back and then go around. So that's something that has been on the radar. The city has us look for issues lying in wait when it comes to safety and risk. And that's been mine, and I don't want to make it sound like it's a death trap, but you just don't want to have anybody fall. So that has been going on as well. As far as upcoming things, city offices close at noon on the 25th for employee event. We just close the whole day, but we'll be doing training that day. It's a good day to do large-scale training. We've done safety training. This was what we did safety training last year. This will be another safety training since we add new facilities and we have new staff on all the time. We want to make sure that everybody's on the same page when it comes to evacuating the facility and other things like that. So we will be doing some training on August 25th, but the building will be closed the whole day. Additionally, we've been trying to pay attention to the environs, make sure they're welcoming and that they feel good to patrons, and we worked a lot with the company that does our carpet, and they said we just need to clean it more often, which is really hard to do because it just gets so used during the summer. But they said, the summer is the hardest time because the asphalt warms up and then people track oil in just by walking across the parking lot. So we will possibly, hopefully, be closing at least one day in the upcoming, say, fall to take care of that carpet cleaning. We cleaned it right before summer reading because we like to spruce up and be ready for the masses, but it's just use. It's just a lot of use every day, so we're just trying to make sure that we're staying in hopefully the right zone for making it clean and welcoming for people to come in. But
so the library's busy.
Yeah, we love to be busy. We love to be busy, that's for sure. Other than that, we have a few other projects on the books. The children's wing stairs, those were installed probably 11, 12 years ago now. And they're solid black. And they don't have a nose on the front of the stairs. So we've had people that have had challenged kind of they go to step and they're like, oh, where's the edge of the stair? And so we are addressing that. Facilities has some tape on it right now, which is a temporary solution, but we're addressing that with putting some edging on the front of the stair so that there's better visual recognition of walking down that. And we're hoping to do it at the same time we do the carpet cleaning to, minimize impact on people. We also have a little bit of money for improvements to desks. We have just had the worst luck getting contractors to do small projects. So we continue to work with the purchasing agent to find a contractor who will take on a small, like woodworking, cabinetry type job that would rebuild a desk, but it's been rough. We have not had good luck with that. So we are still working on that part of it. So that's just what I had in terms of overviews. If you guys had any feedback from summer or anything coming up for fall, we'd be happy to try and respond to questions or take feedback.
So the presentation to City Council, is that the library presenting or the Library Advisory Commission present?
Technically, it's the Library Advisory Commission.
Told the chair.
I think that I'm fine with that.
So, but, which is why we want, just an understanding of if there's anything we can help prepare or anything like that. And it comes at the same time of the year. We're compiling all of the stats for the annual state report so we can try and make those available. It's been a really good post-COVID. I know COVID's not completely over, but we're still seeing, good things with people coming back. We did have story time in the hall for a long time to give people more room to spread out if they needed that. We had one day of story time in the summer out at the stage at City Center Park, and we did that because it was so well received when we did it the previous summer. So we didn't do it every day, but we did it one day, and then Boys and Girls Club was out there again with lunches. And we liked the cross purpose of meeting new people, having new people introduced to library services, people introduced to Boys and Girls Club, and with the all-together playground right there, it's always busy. So we felt like we had enough options for people who are used to coming to story time at the library and like to come inside, and also offering one day out of the park instead of all the days out of the park just because of potential for weather or it was really hot or, last year there was some smoke in the air, so we just didn't want to get too locked into the park when we have resources here. But so we did do that, and it was well received, and I think it expands the opportunity. There are people who know to come to story time, they know their kids like it, and then there are people who wander by and then they enjoy it, and hopefully they continue to come. So that has been one part of summer, but other than that, it's felt like a robust summer. And now Sharon's back, so she's being bombarded with all of our robustness. But so.
Anything, other things anyone wants to bring up before?
So we're just, we wrote a ton of grants during COVID to get as much funding as we could for opportunities. We ended up with $86,000 in collection money for both physical collection and e-items. The e-items were, we got over $55,000 to support E during COVID, and we got $22,000 for the physical collection. So those grants are kind of wrapping up. We've deployed the money, it's in the collection, we're just doing all the reporting. They continue to have small grant opportunities. We're still circulating the hotspots that we started during the time when most lobbies were kind of closed because some people use, lobby Wi-Fi. But we're working with Kenna Matthews of the CDBG program, so some of the hotspots are now back to an application so that we have more available to those with moderate incomes and below. And then we have a lesser number available for people with higher incomes than the required stats for, sometimes people borrow them while they're moving from one house to another, or they're doing different things. So we're trying to balance that out, but we're glad to be able to offer it for one more year for sure. We don't want to spend too much money on something like that if we don't have to, but the need has picked up. People have gotten used to having the option available to them, and we collect the stats for Kenna's program, so we do see the need, and I was pleased before with how many people who had significantly lower incomes than the community norm were taking advantage of it. So I expect to see that again, so that's been a good thing to continue on through COVID. But we are tired of grants, but we will write more of them if we can get the money, because we were able to do a lot of good things with them. So.
How are you doing it? I know other departments are having trouble staffing a lot of companies across the economy. Is the library doing okay staffing wise?
We're primarily doing okay. We have a large portion of our staff is part-time, non-benefited, and just by the nature of who fills those positions, a lot of younger people, a lot of students. August, we will lose several people that we have worked with and come to know and love, but they're going to school and can't hold them back and that kind of thing. So we feel like we've had a lot of openings, but they've been for 2 or 3 non-benefited spots that they may work 10 hours a week, they may work 18 hours, it just kind of depends on the schedule. So that part has been good. We were tasked by the city last year to eliminate part-time benefited positions, which was a challenging issue because we all, love the people that work in those positions, but it did not serve the city as well going forward to have that. They were not as cost effective, and they also had an impact on things like our dispatch center, which is having to work a lot of overtime hours just because that is an area that does really suffer in terms of the staffing. So we did consolidate positions where we could. Some people retired, and then we would wait until another person retired so we can consolidate the positions, so 2 part-times into 1 full-time. Some positions were not filled, other positions were moved around. So that went well. We have 2 retirements coming up in October and November in the tech services area. So one will, we've got a job posted right now for an associate librarian over acquisitions, and they do a lot with the receiving, the ordering, collection development, all of our donations, our book sale, lots of that they work on. And then another one we will post closer to November, and we're going to augment the staffing in the circulation area, because right now circulation has 1 full-time person and then the rest are part-time non-benefited. And so that area where it is absolutely charged every time that we're open could use more benefited support, I think, and we just want to make sure that both the workers and the patrons are getting all the support that they need because we're open 69 hours a week, and that's definitely more than 1 full-time person can cover. So we've done just a few of those things. So we haven't really expanded the footprint, we've just changed a little bit about how the positions have been filled. And we hate to see goodbye to people through retirements, but congratulations to them. They've done so well and served, and so it's a happy, sad time. But we get pretty good interest on our non-benefited part-time positions because we're in a student community, because we have kids in high school that are ready to work. A lot of page jobs are filled by younger people, and they take care of the shelving and things like that. And then some of the other positions can be more clerk related. And so we're
for years. And I loved it.
So we still do get a fair bit of interest, and we just always hope that we get a fair bit of interest when it's a full-time one. Anthony is prone to steal people from Chelsea's husband at yes. But
my husband thinks Anthony was stolen, but Anthony was not stolen because Anthony started as a page. I remember when he was a page, I call him like the Doogie Howser of libraries. That's what I think of Anthony.
That is accurate, that is very accurate.
I know.
It's one of the most triumphant returns. Because when we were interviewing, one of the people who had like known him as a page was like, I don't know, he wasn't very focused, he was like 15 years old. And I was like, I think he's okay now. He's got a master's degree and he holds a full-time. It was just like, I don't know. So no, he's good. I think Mary participated in the hiring on that, so we didn't go too rogue with him. She could attest that he was a pretty impressive candidate, so. So yeah, we fare a lot better than Parks, but we don't pay as well as Target, so we could hit the wall, but
You're a much more fun place to
we are.
Yeah.
So we keep telling everybody.
Much rather be in the library than at church.
Yes.
And we don't make you, like almost take your foot off with a riding lawnmower on the slope, so. But no, we've got a pretty big group, and just those couple of retirements popped up. One of them isn't completely sure she wanted to learn a new ILS system, so.
Oh, yeah.
The timing may be related, but she's also ready to retire and enjoy some time with her husband.
If there's nothing else, I make a motion to adjourn, so.
Anybody else?
Second.
Thank you so much for coming. We usually do a quick special meeting in September before the presentation, just so we're making sure that the presentation represents everything that you wanted it to and that you're familiar with what's going on. So we will look at that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the regularly scheduled one, but
Our meeting will be September 14th, so that might actually work pretty well. It's the way the
So it
schedule
could
is.
be-
We're lucky this year.
So we'll follow up with more communication on that, and then if there's anything that you have questions or concerns about between now and then, just hit us up with an email.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Should we
Thank you,
go about
teachers.
these or leave them here with you?
You can leave them. Sure.
I'll gather them up.
For us.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Mary, for joining us. So good to see you.
Bye, Mary.
Stop sharing your screen.